the armbar from the Toplock. We're going to cover 3 main concepts today, and then next time, months, we're going to look at another 3, 4, 5, about another 5 things. So rather than teaching you 8 things tonight and you're not going to remember them, kind of just break it down a little bit. The problem with the armbar was before I learned the Toplock, anytime I made a grip on the car's sleeve here, put my foot on his hip, turned perpendicular, Carl was already pulling his elbow back and posturing, and then I ended up here and I put myself in a more vulnerable position. So it was nearly impossible to arm lock anyone, basically because he was knowing I was going for the arm lock, pulling this elbow back, and then as I go to swing my leg up, he's posturing up straight, and I end up here, and then he's passing my guard. But now that we know this second vulnerability of the Toplock, more of a control position, the arm lock is going to be so much more high percentage. So we do the same move that we did earlier. So from here I get this to the inside, I come offline, I make that overclasp cross collar grip, and now from there Carl stiff arming me, I get the bend in the arm, and then I use this leg to help me climb up into the Toplock. Now, let's deal with the main. Any good player is not going to stay here. Okay? Carl knows if I keep this grip, he's going to find his bicep and then just make a figure 4 laterally on. And from there, I'm not going to get into a battle. Anytime I try now to armbar Carl, his elbow, his right elbow is tucked to his body, he's probably going to pull that elbow out. I'm not even going to try it. So let's shut this down before it even happens. So from here, when I get this in line with my hip, I make that initial overclasp grip, I get him to 45, I pull up. So first thing I'm looking to do is, I let go of the sleeve, I slide up so I'm wrist to wrist, and I just grab, connect my elbows to my body. So now when Carl tries to find his bicep, he can't. He probably can get his forearm or hand to hand, but that won't stop the armbar. Second thing I'm looking for now is I uncross, and the leg that's over the back comes across and goes on his head. Right? Now I've unified legs here. My legs are pointing in the same direction. Now there's a very small movement. All I have to do is lift my left leg over Carl's right shoulder to over his left shoulder, and I have my armbar. You compare that to the traditional way it's taught, whereby they don't even do a Toplock. They pull it across, make a grip, foot comes in the hip, I turn around. Look how far my left leg has to travel to come up over this shoulder. And obviously Carl will have his elbow pulled back in that time. When we get into this whole Toplock position, look where my leg is. It just has to travel to there. So from there I let go of the sleeve here, that's the first thing we're thinking about, and I cover the wrist and I just latch on to my lapel. From there, that closes down that melee on defense, which is the main defense from the armbar. Carl can get hand to hand, or he can find his forearm, doesn't matter. I uncross my legs and I put my foot over his head. My legs are pointing in the same direction, and in one movement, I throw my leg over. Okay, now this is the detail. How do I stop Carl from pulling his elbow out? Okay? If my feet are higher than my knees, even though I've got this, and I pinch my knees, he can get that arm out. Back a step. The detail is, my feet go lower than my knees. Right? Anytime my feet are lower than my knees, put your arm out now, Carl. You will not get that out. I can even do it from there. I don't even use grips. If I have my feet higher than my knees, put your arm out, and then pull out. That's without grips. Now, people do say to go back a step that pinching the knees is good. Yeah, pinching the knees is fine. That's another thing you can do, but it's not the most important thing. The most important thing is my feet are lower than my knees, or my knees are higher than my feet. Now, of course, Carl wants to stack. That's another thing you can do. He can plant his right foot and start to stack me. Back a step. But I can use this concept of feet lower than knees to close that down. So start stacking, bro. That's without grips. You can take the armbar anytime. Okay. So those three things control the wrist so he can't get managed on. This foot touches the top of his head one more time. And keep your feet lower than your knees. So bring it across. You look for the overclasp grip. You climb to the top lock. And then from there I let go. Wrist to wrist. Cover this. Touch his head. As this comes over, yeah, I'm just thinking about getting my feet. My toes are pointing down. I would never cross my ankles from bottom position armbars. I know there is times you would, because that tends to straighten my legs a little bit. So I'd much rather point my toes down and pinch my knees. Again, if I keep my grips, Car's going to try and put his defenses. I'm keeping this grip in the collar as well. I use this and this. That controls his posture as well. And stop. So, just again.